What's up with our people?
Right, what is up, y'all? We are back again with another topic. And what are we going to be talking about today, babe?
We are going to talk about the people pleaser culture of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Woo, we got a lot to say.
We do. We can even point out how they kind of groom you to be a people pleaser.
They groom you to
to the max.
Yes.
And even some of the signs to notice, like if a person is a people pleaser, or if we are.
Yep.
So
let's get into it. All right, y'all. So we have a screenshot we're going to put up for you guys. One of the most common signs of people pleasing is feeling anxious about the opinions and feelings of others. These feelings often stem from insecurity. You may fear people perceiving you unfavorably, so you conform your behaviors to fit into a box and overshadow your true self. Interesting.
Sound familiar?
Interesting. Does it sound familiar to y'all?
It does. And even just thinking of some of the things, because this is going to bring up a lot of memories for people.
Ooh.
Some of the most important things they bring out is making ourselves lower than others.
Yes,
and
be
that's
a
not,
lowly one.
That's all it is. And like when you think of humble people, you think of, you meet somebody, man, they just like us, or they were down to earth. But it's not to where they just carried yourself like this and they put you
head
here.
Down. Exactly.
No.
I actually had this debate with somebody, like the case of like humility versus like arrogance. There is a balance between, okay?
Right.
Just because you're humble does not mean that you are insecure.
Right.
But the way that the organization teaches humility is for you to also be insecure, because you are literally putting everybody and everything above yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like you become boundaryless, no boundaries. You know, people can talk to you in whatever which way. Like,
you just got to accept it.
yes, and that is people pleasing.
Yeah, because you're not, like you said, setting boundaries. If a person is known for being rude to you, or they're just imperfect, what would Jesus do? No, that's at some point you got to put your foot down and be like, no, I'm not rocking with this.
And that's interesting that you bring that up, because what would Jesus do? Like, Jesus wasn't somebody that, as the Bible describes him, that just people pleased everybody. He wasn't that way. You know
they
what
always try to sweep under the table that part in the Bible when he was flipping tables. And people try to twist the Bible and say Jesus was angry. And I remember a person in service saying, how else would you flip a table over when somebody is in your daddy's house fooling around, in here clowning? Oh, come on, everyone, this is the right thing to do,
right?
You know? Like, come, be realistic.
And let's not forget how many people, like, in the Bible, like, despised Jesus, viewed him as a false prophet, all these things. Right. He wasn't people pleasing, you know what I mean? He had this passion that he was set on, and he didn't let anybody stand in the way of that. So even whenever people are like within religions are like, oh, what would Jesus do? Be like Jesus. They say it in a way that you're supposed to, oh, Jesus was even washing other people's feet. So what?
Right.
That doesn't mean that he had like absolutely no morals and everybody could just push him around just because he decided to wash people's feet.
Right. They use this religion stuff to their own benefit when it works
every
for them.
Time.
And also to condemn others.
Yeah. They're like, oh, but Jesus was so obedient. But he was obedient to the Most High. You know what I mean? Of who it was at that time. So,
exactly.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, they got their ways. And even if you go to the website and type in stumble or stumbling, just look at all the articles, because that was this shows the people pleasingness in Jehovah's Witnesses. Always, you don't want to stumble your brothers, don't want to stumble other people. So now you are living on eggshells, because it's like, all right, even back when before the beard thing was approved of, they would get on you because, you know, this little bit might stumble somebody. Or if you had tattoos, you got to cover your tattoos. You don't want to stumble somebody. How? Everybody in here grown.
Yeah.
How is me having a tattoo on my arm going to stumble somebody over there? If anything, he want to get one too.
Exactly. And we remember even, we attended this one like party, and I talked about it before, but like the one girl who had posted taking shots with like taking one shot with my uncle, and how they had gotten pulled into like the back room because of it. Not my uncle, because he wasn't baptized, but like she did, because she was a pioneer sister, and the people who threw the party did, because that was a pioneer sister and a ministerial servant. So they all like kind of got in trouble for it, you know? And it's like, how is that going to stumble somebody? And if somebody else has an issue with alcohol, that is their issue. That doesn't mean that I am not allowed to drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, if anything, I can see if we all going out to the bar or we going to a brewery or something, and I'm inviting this person to come there and they got a old drinking problem. That's something else. That is
something completely different. But this is my own social media platform. I can post what I want.
Yeah, a bunch of grown people just the stumbling. It just gets out of hand with this whole stumbling thing.
Yeah, because they try to paint everything to be a picture of stumbling, and that could be like, it's like a literal sin within the Jehovah's Witness community, because you can get disfellowshipped by stumbling somebody else.
Yeah. Do you remember even at some point, I can't remember if they changed the rule and then changed it back, but couples couldn't be affectionate at the Kingdom Hall because it may stumble a single person. Yeah. Like holding hands with your wife, talking about married 40, 50 years, couldn't hold your wife's hand, or around prayer, something like this, like all of that.
Or around the waist. Oh my gosh, it was the around the waist that was like a big problem. Like especially if it was on like the lower back, like too close to the butt.
Yeah, like that stumbling. Man, everybody, you forget, people are grown.
People are grown.
Yeah, okay? They treat everybody like little kids, and they even, another guilt trip would always be that, how would Jehovah feel, which is really the organization, how would Jehovah feel? How would this make Jehovah look? And that listed a whole category of situations that you had to always in your mind. All right, how is this gonna make Jehovah's organization look? You remember like some of the situations you would have to kind of be on eggshells about?
Yeah, absolutely. Even something as simple as like your music taste, like what you like for music.
Yep, you don't want to stumble nobody.
Yeah. Hair color, like things that do not make you who you are. You know, like it's just an accessory on you.
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. Even remember during the convention time, you would have to wear your badge, and it would tell you even when you leave the convention, keep your badge on. You go shopping after, or you go to the restaurant, you need to represent Jehovah. Yeah. So everybody is forced to wear this goofy badge out in public. Everybody else, it's a Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
People eating chicken wings and stuff in their regular clothes, and here come this group of weirdos with suits on.
And it'd be a whole group of them. And what they liked was like, because if you see a group, like a large group of people coming in dressed really nicely, people are immediately gonna have their interest sparked. Like, oh, where are you guys coming from? Like a wedding, a this, a that, you know? Like it's an immediate thing. And so they would always want us to use that as another moment for preaching.
Exactly, to recruit.
Yes, to where what we were wearing is putting us up here. So keep your badge on so you could then show them what you're in town for and, you know, what's going on.
And even keep more invitations with you. Oh, we have another program tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, or next week we have another one coming. That was ridiculous.
Which is crazy because, like, okay, I work at a hospital, and the hospitals are always telling you, like, when you leave work, take your badge off. You know what I mean? If you're posting on social media, take your badge off. Like, if you go out to eat somewhere and there's drinks, or even if there's not drinks, take your badge off. Like, that's
opposite.
The complete opposite. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because the hospital is not trying to recruit people. Yeah. Recruit thousands of people to come here to make us more money. If anything, I mean, they might want some sick people, but you're not trying to recruit people to come here and get more money, or just to recruit even more people and more money. So
it's all a ploy. Like, the personality that you put on for conventions and things like that, and just the meetings, just in general, as being a Jehovah's Witness, it's like you're always walking on eggshells no matter what you do. It's things as simple as like I said, like hair color, taste, or even how you're speaking whenever you're out. Like if you get too loud or something, that's an annoyance.
Or if you cuss and you're known as a witness, like even okay, that's another one. You don't want to stumble people that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, like at school or around family members. If your family doing the Thanksgiving dinner and you known as the Jehovah's Witness family member, you are representing the brand, the organization. So you can't go, because then they're going to say, I know my cousin Jehovah's Witness and he be doing this and that. You got to be on.
Don't do it.
Yep, you got to be on eggshells, exactly, because they don't want it to come back on them somehow.
Yes.
Especially with the organization being small. I know a Jehovah's Witness, my cousin, because it's only so many Kingdom Halls. My cousin so-and-so, I know him. Yeah, man, he be drinking and doing it. Oh, really? Now you about to be in trouble because they about to go tell on you. I remember it was a sister, super uppity, fake spiritual sister that was real uppity, and I remember one time we would talk about alcohol. Oh, brother, that doesn't sound very spiritual. And it's like, little did she know, dating is small. She would be going to bars and she was with some people that wasn't witnesses and they're drunk cussing, and I knew about this. And I wish I would have been who I am now, because I would have called her out right on the spot. Oh, but you be out drinking with worldly people and stuff though, right?
That part.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen the look on her face.
Fake spiritual people.
That's the thing, is they think that it's two different worlds. They think because you're a Jehovah's Witness, you know nothing about what's going on outside. You know what I mean? Of the Kingdom Hall. But like, let's be for real. Like, everybody is humans. Like, we all know people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses, even whenever we were in, you know, and you came from a really small city, and a lot of people come from small cities, and just like word gets around. For real.
And then especially if you were somebody who wasn't a witness at one point, so you're gonna know even more people in the witness world. Even like field service, that's another one. How you behave out in field service is something, because you don't want to stumble the potential people that we're trying to manipulate to come into this Kingdom Hall.
Yes. So you always have to be like quiet, you know, like not rowdy.
Don't peek in the windows.
Yeah, which people did.
Right.
Going all the way in the backyard.
I was just about to say, they would violate. Imagine somebody walking in, like, bro, what are you doing?
I'd be like, I didn't answer the door for a reason. Like, bye.
Yeah, just because you see me back here working on the car or something, don't mean come walking around my house.
Literally, I would be like, what in the world are you doing?
Exactly.
Why are you in my backyard? Like, this is my personal space.
Right, go.
Yeah.
That's why witnesses used to get cussed out.
Yes, because they do too much.
Right. I think one of the biggest parts of people pleasing, the most detrimental part that I'm sure a lot of us can relate to, is being forced to widen out and make friends.
Yeah.
But now you're trying to please. In a normal, regular life, if you are not vibing with somebody, or somebody's not your cup of tea, you are not about to go up and try to force a friendship or try to hang out or try to get to know. It's like, oh, I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I remember whenever I I ended up having like I really don't even know why we stopped being friends. It was over the girl's mom, but like me and the girl stopped being friends about that. Right. And I had people texting me like, you guys need to stop this and just like blah blah blah. Like, mind your business. Like, if we don't want to stop. This is one thing about me. I'm not gonna go beg somebody to be my friend. Right. You know what I mean? Like, if I already know, like, okay, you're not trying to talk, or you're not trying. Why do I have to go and reach out to you and like and do what?
For real, we're not cool.
What? Like, seriously. And I'm okay with it. Like, it is not a problem for me. It's a problem for everybody else that me and this girl are not friends. But it is not a problem for me. Okay? Yep. I have built-in best friends, my sisters. For real. And I'm okay with that.
Yep, and that's all you need. And I like how you even brought that out, because in normal life, right, if you and a person realize this is not somebody I rock with, this is not a genuine person, it's over with.
That's it.
But that's not allowed in this organization. No. You are not allowed to have differences to where you stop fooling with somebody in this organization, because you will get condemned for it. You will get judged. You will get counseled. All of this stuff. You are forced to basically be friends with enemies.
Yes, and not just that. It's like, it becomes like the talk of like your Kingdom Hall or the talk of your circuit. Everybody talks about like an issue that you might have had with somebody else. You know what I mean? Because that is the culture within the Jehovah's Witness religion. Because there's nothing else that people have to talk about but other people's drama. You know what I mean? Because people are just so like bored with their lives. They have no passions for anything else, you know? So that takes up a lot of their time, and it further feeds this whole like people-pleasing mentality.
It does. Even like the awkwardness, because they don't like to talk about this, but in Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a lot of people that got divorced or remarried and are still in the same congregations. And you don't really notice it, especially if you're younger, because a lot of this stuff may happen before your time. But it'll be people like, oh, you know, they used to be sister so-and-so. Wait a minute. You mean like brother, son? Yeah, they used to be married, or she was married to his brother, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah. And these people are forced, no telling what type of wild stuff happened for them to have to get divorced, are still forced to be brother and sister. No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, that's crazy.
That is. But that's something that's forced. You are forced to be friends with people that you don't like. That's not normal, but Jehovah is watching, and you're not going to make it to paradise, or you're going to get counseled. So you are forced to please people that you don't even really want to fool with.
Yeah, or the opposite is the same way. Like, okay, let's take the disfellowshipping thing, for example. You know what I mean? These are people that you want to talk to, but you purposely do not talk to them in public.
In public. I'm glad you brought that out. Listen, that hit home because my mom has been disfellowshipped my whole life.
Yeah.
And so according to the rules, because we all were at the same hall, family members would not talk to my mom at the hall.
At the hall.
But right after there, my mom is going over to my grandparents' house to help my grandmother with something. Or she cooked and she's bringing that over. Or on the phone with my grandma or stuff like that. But at the hall, we're not going to talk to each other. It's like, if this is what you truly believe, it's for who? Jehovah.
Yeah.
Doesn't Jehovah watch? He watches everything, right? So why does it matter to Jehovah if he's watching everything? Yeah. He watches you talking on the phone at this point, but when you get into his house, you ain't talking. Yeah. Or is it because people are watching?
That part. Yeah. It's a whole people-pleasing culture.
All of it is.
It is so frustrating to watch because we even get messages and like comments about people who have like been disfellowshipped but now their parents are sick or something, and so they step up and they're taking care of their Jehovah's Witness parents even though they're either XJW or disfellowshipped, whatever they might be. But why is that okay? And why aren't the people from the Kingdom Hall stepping up to take care of them? Right,
that's facts. I remember even my grandmother was sick before she passed.
Yeah.
It was a lot of witnesses, like times when she was in and out the hospital. Where the elders at? And there was a family member, I want to say it was my aunt, was upset about that. But she still kind of is a witness, but she still talked to me. But she noticed, like, where are all the elders at? The elders ain't nowhere around. And it wasn't until she died or was on her deathbed that everybody came out the woodworks. And that pissed me off. Like, where y'all been this whole time if this is what we truly believe in?
Exactly. Exactly. And then they come out just to have a freaking cringy funeral talk where they barely talk about the person. Like, please.
And it's all a recruitment. Yeah. That's another video we're going to drop about how the funerals go.
I'm telling you, because the way that they like extort people and just, the members are people pleasers and they are people users.
Yeah, for real.
Okay. All right, y'all. We are going to pull something else up on the screen for you guys, okay? Because some of you may be like, oh, I'm not a people pleaser, or I was never a people pleaser. But let's look at the signs, okay? Yep. Signs you're a people pleaser. 8, you have low self-esteem. You always agree in order to be liked. You fear being labeled selfish. Your personality changes based on who you're with. You overcommit to activities or responsibilities. And you feel pressure to be nice all the time. People constantly take advantage of you.
I like that part about basically where you do things out of the norm to kind of please other people.
Yeah.
Like I would always get invited to stuff that I did not want to go to.
Yeah.
But
you overcommit.
Yep, you overcommit. And that was something that I struggled with because in the beginning I had to go to these graduations and functions and stuff. And this is when I was just coming into this organization. So I got actual fun friends I grew up with. And this stuff, you go up to these parties and y'all got to play Bible games. Like that was, I did not like that. It was boring to me, but it's like, all right, I have to show up because
I don't want to be boring.
It was, I didn't want to be labeled as that person that never shows up or that bad association. But toward the end, I just quit showing up to stuff. I would just spin people. Oh yeah, I'll be there. Then time come, I'm not answering my phone.
Yeah.
I explain it to you tomorrow at the hall. Or you know what? What's another one?
What?
When people miss meetings.
Yeah.
And you miss 2 or 3 meetings, you have to explain yourself. Or even if you miss 1 meeting or miss field service.
Yep.
Oh, I had this come up. Or you grown. Why you got to explain yourself? Why you was chilling yesterday?
And you're also explaining yourself to random people. It's not even like the elders. It could just be a random sister or brother who decided to have the balls to come up to you and ask you where the heck you've been. And you feel compelled to answer them.
Right.
Is that not insane? insane.
It is. It's just none of your business.
Yeah. And I think the last one too, like you feel pressure to be nice all the time. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Very much so. And it led me to be taken advantage of because you're constantly feeling like, you know, you have to put everybody else above you.
Right.
And you have to be nice. Like that is a quality of a spiritual woman, is being nice all the time. But niceness literally gets you taken advantage of. Like,
yeah, you become a doormat.
Yeah, you don't have to be nice all the time. You can be you can be yourself, and you can be a good person without having to people please. You know?
Is.
And the second one that was like you people please basically to be liked.
Yep.
That's a main one right there.
Yeah, you want everybody to like you.
Yes, and you see that quality in a lot of people to where they hide their true feelings. And I have gained so much respect for people who just tell it like it is, not meaning that they're rude, but they're truthful. You know what I mean? And that's really the only kind of friends that I care to be around now, because I felt like I was around so much like fake energy before, where people were afraid to tell me how they truly felt, or you know, like what truly was going on, that now that is something that I honor and respect so much, because just like tell me how it is. But I think at that time too, I don't think maybe I would have even been strong enough for like the truth of things, you know, because a lot of those things were true about me. Like I felt low self-esteem because I was always told like I couldn't be like who I was.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, so that's something you struggle with. But even if somebody is not a friend and they let you know, I mean, you ain't really my type of company. It's respectable. Because, all right, instead of us being fake, all right, man, you do your thing over there and I'll do mine.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. We aren't all meant to just like each other and love each other, you know?
Right, that's not life.
Yeah, and it's okay to show love to other people, but you don't have to keep those people in your circles, you know? Like, it's just not necessary.
Even being forced to invite that person that you don't usually go on service with, or I don't want to go on service with you, or I don't want to invite you over for dinner. Yeah. I don't want to. You're not. I got who I hang with, and you just happen to be somebody I say hey to at the hall. Right. But you're not somebody I want to kick it with all evening. Yes. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think another one too that was great that was pointed out is that you change your personality based on who you're like around.
Facts.
Because who didn't do that?
Definitely. Like I noticed that I like to hang around more. Looking back, I didn't consider nobody bad association. More, in fact, I would rather be around bad association than the uppity witness people, because it was just like you couldn't be authentic with these people. No. You had to be, because they being fake. Yeah. So you got to be fake right along with them. Versus other people, it was certain people, you know, like, man, when we go kick it this weekend and go to Kings Island or go to the amusement park, we can listen to this music. Yeah. Because this is what we like. Yeah. Versus somebody else, that one person in the car, hey, we can't play that because, you know,
and that would happen. Yep. That would happen a lot of times. Like, we had like our normal like group of friends that we kind of hung around, and we all did the same things. You know what I mean? Like, so once we got older, like we would have a drink, or we had multiple drinks, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we had fun. Like, sometimes we would cuss. Like, and that was like our group of people. But as soon as we got around a different kind of person, like, you could see everybody's like personality change, and it was just very not authentic. And that's something too that my sister was saying that she just absolutely hated, because people would act one way with us because we were basically cool about everything. Like, we were not one of those witnesses that you had. Yeah, that just wasn't us. Like, I'm gonna let you be you. You know what I'm saying? And when there would be another person around that they viewed as like highly spiritual or something, like, now all of a sudden you want to talk about Jehovah all the time. Now all of a sudden you want to go on like a scripture match. Oh, this scripture. Oh, that scripture. Like, you guys are annoying.
Yeah, and after a while, it's like I got tired of that being one way and then having to be something else. I would rather just be known as a person like, oh, we don't really want to hang around him because he did this and that. Especially once I was disfellowshipped and came back, it's like I already got this stamp on me, this label. But and that even made me think of I'm gonna say my homie KY at the time, because if you do watch this, that means he waking up. But KY didn't. He only listened to edited music at the time, or it might have been KY and Barb. I can't remember, but I know it was KY. But we would listen to custom music, and then down the line, he got this fellowship with my cousin for getting a freak on. So it's like, why were we so antsy about playing custom music But in reality, the homie wanted to get his freak on. All right, pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? But it just shows like you have to walk on eggshells for people who got their own stuff going on.
Yeah.
Because they being fake around you too.
Exactly. And it was especially when there would be other people around. Because I remember our little group of friends, like, we could basically be ourselves, like, around them, you know? And we had a lot of duality. Like, we could talk about spiritual things. We could talk about boys. We could talk about all the things that we wish we could do. Like, we could talk about all of those things in our little friend group, right? But then they'd get around somebody that they knew they didn't know very much, you know, and now it's like putting the mask on. And that stuff used to be so annoying.
For real.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why me and Pez was so cool, because we became witnesses after high school.
Yeah.
So we had the same experiences just doing sports and just regular stuff and music and cussing and all that.
Yeah.
And when we hung out, like kind of feeling each other. This is the funny thing. Pez, we became friends. He was like, bro, I ain't like you at first. And I was like, for real? Because I knew him. We met from hooping.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, I thought you was one of them uppity, witnessy, like super spirits. And Pez still a witness to this day. But he was like, I thought you was one of them. I was like, nah. I was like, bro, I wasn't even baptized yet. He was like, me either. So we got cool off of that. And then we noticed the people we like to be around was more people like us. Like the uppity people was like, we don't invite them no more.
Yeah. Like, you guys are ruining the vibe.
Yeah, like, but that's kind of the culture of, you know, this organization.
Yes, and what was interesting to me is whenever I had looked up, you know, like why people are like people pleasers and stuff, it brought along something about it's called fawning, okay? And it's like a trauma response to whenever it basically means that you people please due to like an abusive relationship, like parental abuse or like intimate abuse. And I was like, well, that's why people please, because this is religious abuse. You know what I mean? Like, you're constantly being told, it's like a verbal abuse constantly, you know? And you're constantly being told that everything that you're doing is wrong, and to think of yourself as lowly, and to do this, and what would Jesus do? But they have what would Jesus do wrong. And all of these things. So fawning is a trauma response.
That's literally what it is. You're afraid of getting disciplined by this organization or disowned by your family. Especially a lot of witnesses had strict parents.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them had the super strict parents, so where they were just like, okay, that was a lot of the awkward people.
Yes. Side note, you guys need to watch Under the Bridge.
Yeah. A few people in the comments suggested that.
Thank you to everybody who suggested that we have been on it. And I think we only have, one episode left, or 2 episodes?
1.5.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, but it just shows how that strict parenting or that strict people pleasing being pushed. The results of it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is.
But that is it for today, y'all.
Yep, we wrapping this up. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Drop in the comments. I know y'all always got the best stuff to say in here.
They really do.
They do. Yeah, so you already know we're gonna drop in there our healing journal, the Pimo version, if you have to hide while you're reading it, and then the regular version, Escaping the Cult. And basically, like we brought up before, it's one chapter about the Jehovah's Witness part, and the rest is just healing as a person or how to move forward. And then we got our Instagram at Awaken Truths IG. Then we have our interviews we're doing in the Atlanta area, if you anywhere around Atlanta, because we prefer to do the in-person just to get, you see how our other ones went. So we prefer to do in-person, and just let us know if you're interested. Don't be scared. Don't let the cult have you feeling to where you're not allowed to express yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that part.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the protest that is going to be going on in September of this year. I think it's called Be Free Again. There was a Be Free protest last year. We obviously didn't attend, but we're thinking about attending this year.
Yeah.
So with that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.